welcome to Critical Tumble, where a bunch of longtime fans and internet nerds transcend geography through the power of Discord to play Dungeons & Dragons. And as with all D&D groups, occasionally have some attendance problems because life lives to screw with us. Which is probably a really interesting take on life needs things to live. Things apparently being the annoyance of all who dare do the living thing, but never mind. Anyway, previously, the gang wound up... They're en route to graze in the capital of the barony by the same name to hopefully take out Varidel, the ancient white dragon who's sitting on top of it. There have been a couple of detours since... There was the trip to the Blind Harpy, which involved very grabby corpses, slightly tainted young white dragons, flesh corks, and arson. Because that be how we all do. The rescue of one very, very tiny kid who... I'm sorry, Ethan, I'm still not letting you forget the slight metagaming that involved you bringing a small child into a combat zone. You didn't know it wasn't in the main room? I mean, yeah, Rylan was screaming real loud, but you couldn't necessarily tell where in the inn it was. So yes, Hazel had every right to be pissed with you. Good, okay. Hazel did it, so I didn't have to. Anyhow, yes, after that, and sending Sarah to Hearthhome through Dorkey, they moved on to the Sullivan Plantation, where they've spent the last couple of sessions finding universes of nope. There was the Horse Valanche, the bathtubs full of half-frozen blood, the clear, drow attack on the field hand's cabin, and the various traps and illusions and corpses, so many corpses, in the main house, up to and including interesting melange of individuals who were made to look like the party. Which, particularly in the case of Farida and Barnabas, was even more grotesque than everything else. They couldn't do much with the Farida and Barnabas effigies because those are missing a few things, like heads. But the rest of them, Alice was just kind of... We can bring people back to life. We can't do it for everybody. We don't have that kind of time, but they were killed specifically to fuck with us, and I don't like the idea of letting them stay dead. So they're now going to they've spent their first evening resurrecting the 3 individuals that they can do per day. And so it's going to be, day 2 for 3 more, and then the last one on, probably early in the day so they can get a move on. But there were some additional issues. They did get a fair bit of information, particularly out of Lisa, Sigwald's old friend. But whole bunches of stress. But when they sent Old Dog, Aloysius, King of All He Surveys, and the 3 newly resurrected individuals to Hearthhome, they got maple and hazelnut cookies and donuts handed back to them, which had Barnabas just via echo, just poink, hello. And we left it with everybody sort of bedding down for the night. Alice having made a her and Remy a nice little nest in the cellar to be keeping Legolas company, effectively. And everybody else more or less cramming into the parlor because there haven't... Now they know that one's not trapped anymore. Because, there was the whole, we're not checking for traps, we're opening doors and causing minor property damage or setting the entire goddamn library on fire.
Whoops.
Yeah, shit happens. You guys were shook. You guys were shook up. You forget things. It happens. And so, fortunately or depending on your point of view of murder house, so does morning. So yeah, morning happens and it's snowing really hard out there. Remy and Alice do not know this because they're in the cellar. There are no windows in the cellar. The somewhat hung-over Legolas looks like he is regretting his life choices. But yeah, you guys are looking out at blizzard. Like, not entirely sure, but it's likely to take a strength check to open the door.
Does it seem like abnormally strong for this region?
You don't know. You do not come from this region. Nobody in this party comes from this region.
Very true.
And besides, even if it is abnormal for the usual, it doesn't necessarily mean that ancient white dragon is bearing down on you because it's been fucking with the weather,
Miles.
way further west for a while now. So all you guys really know is that you're bound to be dealing with certain amounts of inclement weather, and it's just bad luck that it's become, hip deep blizzard, and it does not show any signs of letting up anytime soon.
This is going to be a problem.
Are magnets or just travel interruptions and also incredible amounts of snow.
That's going to be fun. Yeah, when Alice wakes up, it's like, yeah, because of course, again, no windows. Legs, you're probably gonna want to be out. Goes up to the cellar door, shove. What the fuck? Okay.
Remy's just gonna stay bundled in the blankets for as long as possible.
Yeah, that's going to be fun because with a nat 20 on the strength check and a 7 on the perception to know what's blocking the damn cellar door, he shoves the door open and woomph.
Oh,
down the stairs.
Cold. Oh no.
I was just... Alice is currently limbs and wings sticking out of a snowdrift. And that's all you've got to say. That's just...
She belatedly looks up. Oh, hold on, Alice.
It's not the first time I've been stuck in snow, and it won't be the last. Thank you for your sympathy.
Remy fumbles to get up and dress and
make me a dex save while you're doing that, because she's going to get out of the. Well, when Alice is shaking the snow out of her wings, and Remy is actually getting dressed, there's a certain amount of snow splatter. And Legolas just does not care. Just up into the winter wonderland. So you guys will eventually see Moose. Moose doesn't care. I'm gonna have to go out and shut that. I'll be back in a second. And it actually flies out and there's still this pile of melting snow. So yeah, then you guys have oh shit, yeah, that's blocking the door. So you guys hear very faintly, "Hey Lex!" You don't hear anything else but likely to be gestures, and then you just hear a weird scraping sound and snow goes flying as apparently Legolas is using antlers to dig out the door. Front door opens, front door shuts. Yeah, okay, we're having some weather.
Looks like
Yep.
it. Morning.
Morning.
Yeah. Apparently, my getting slammed down the stairs by an awful lot of snow gets more, it's cold than, oh, are you okay? Ree is not at her best first thing in the morning. She's getting dressed. She'll be up from the
She'll
cellar in a
eventually
minute. Yeah.
Shuffle her way upwards and outwards.
Yeah, you see why now, and points out at the blizzard. Well, we weren't planning on going anywhere today anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we'll have to deal with it at some point, though.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprisingly comforted that Leg seems to be utterly unbothered by it.
You remember what it looked like up
Right. It's more of big blizzard. We're getting near ancient white dragon paranoia. So
Oh, great. Now I have paranoia that he's going to be making a trek around the house and get himself eaten. Thanks for that.
sorry, if I gotta suffer from it, I gotta spread it around.
An
the only way.
anxiety shared is not an anxiety halved.
Speak for yourself, but okay.
I suppose the one good thing about providing anxiety fodder is this. I can pull out the common sense and say that if this ancient white wanted to strand us someplace, it would not be inside a building.
Probably not, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the claws probably could rip a roof off, but that'd be an awful lot of effort.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't just leave legs inside all day.
No.
If for no other reason than the cellar is going to start to really smell.
Mm.
So, should I start putting together something that vaguely resembles breakfast?
I'll give you a hand with that.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and fair it is. Just, I know that most of the library got burned, but there might still be salvageable things in the desk. While you're all doing that, I'm gonna go and see if I can pry it open. Sorry about that. Well, well, I don't suppose anybody saw any traps, and Cloudy's. I'll go with her. Make sure there's no traps and disarm them if they are. And hopefully a little better than I did the other day. I'll say it's knowing you guys, that's going to be a thing, and you're probably some of the more confusing to look at. So we'll bring you in meals, have fun with your research day, I guess. Thank you. And off they go. Oh, they're putting... Go ahead.
They are going to find basically everything that could possibly be salvageable in there. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, assuredly.
Uh,
If anyone can, they can.
oh, I should probably ask, how is Butterscotch faring with all of this? It's probably still in the bag.
Yeah, probably. Although he would probably have spent most of the night in
Ah.
Ava's on.
Yeah, so you're mostly just getting... Doesn't seem to be suffering from the cold, but mostly just looks bewildered, and when he's rampaging around after nighttime cuddles, it's trying to clamber up on the windowsill and chase snowflakes. That is a weird little fluffy.
Yep.
Sapphire is probably also out, also sitting on a windowsill, and is just doing the tail twitch watching thing. Because I don't think that Clarity would want to take Sapphire into a room with potentially melting desk and ash and things. Although Butterscotch is probably going to try to rampage in there, because Butterscotch is like, new places, new things, boing, 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 boing.
Explore, yeah.
Yeah, are you going to let him just explore wherever he wants?
Probably no. I'll probably try and have him keep him. Well, if I'm in the kitchen, probably not near me.
Oh, probably better in the bag near you
Yeah,
than.
probably. I'd let him like stretch his paws a little bit, then I'd probably put him back in the bag.
You're still kind of getting the, but there's new expression. Yeah, I'd suggest introducing him to Legs, but I think Legs' response would effectively be, "Can I eat it?"
Yeah.
It's Legs. Legs eats basically anything.
Mm-hmm.
He won't deliberately go after meat, but if that's all that's available,
I mean, gotta eat to survive.
well, unless you're Butterscotch. Yeah, and Barnabas, you're a little more immune to the cute than most of the rest of us, but Rylan, at the very least, we should show the doll's house.
Mm.
It's a toy shop in Belarus.
Ah,
That's where we got those.
Mm.
Gesturing at Sapphire, who's still on the window with tail, just the tip of the tail going.
with the look on the face where it not stuffed would actually be making the ek 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 noise, but can't because
No noise. Yes. That's also where we got some of Jaloy's more specialty bits of furniture.
ah.
That
Yeah,
little
stove.
tiny stove,
Yep.
and the easel and the stool.
Yep.
I think Lenark made the bed. You said. Every so often, we'll try and find something new and interesting for Jaloy's little house. I mean, not so little compared to her, but especially now that apparently Evan's not tweaking with it anymore. So while I put together breakfast and the like, thoughts on what we learned yesterday? I mean, beyond we cannot just go directly to Black Crown after...
I mean, part of me wonders if they're getting anxious. But if they're doing this to get in our way, to mess with us and push us away from them, tend to think either maybe we're getting close to something they really don't want us to.
I don't know.
What?
I'd think that if it was I'd think that if Lisa had reported any kind of real anxiety, I have a feeling that if anybody would know what anxiety looks like, it'd be her. This sounded like spite. This isn't trying to push us away from anything. This is deliberately trying to hurt us. I think we'd more or less said that it was probably... They probably know that this kind of thing is more likely to make us act in a rash manner. I mean, at the very least, it sounds like Arkan is not entirely impressed with the whole thing, but doesn't sound like he's got much say either.
Well,
I imagine not.
if handbag bitch is being backed by a goddess, there's not much she can do against that.
More to the point, backed up by his goddess. I mean, at the very least, him standing up to her means that whatever she's trying to do, insofar as if she really is going to wind up being Tiamat's vessel, she's not that yet. I don't think he'd be arguing back at all.
She was, yeah. But it does also say to me that time is running out, because if she ends up being a vessel, she is going to be...
Worse than she already was when we met her in the Elven World.
Exactly. I mean, she was already quite powerful, and...
The main question is, we don't know what it takes.
No.
I mean, the only experience we have of things like this is... I mean, Darvin's only got a little tiny spark of divinity. I've got a bit more in a very different way. None of that's indicative.
That
It's
is
not like you can
directly
look at-
channeling a deity, as in directly channeling a deity.
That's becoming the deity. It's
not
like
you
the
can look at
it's like the reverse of what happened with Shanaira.
Yeah. Oh no.
What?
Just if it's the reverse, we want to even begin to speculate on how she figured out this bit or where she got this information, because that seems like something that wouldn't be the most directly known thing, even for gods.
Well, it would definitely be something that would be known for, well, dragons and humans. Because the reverse side of that is... I mean, yeah, we're talking about God inhabiting person, becoming the god. But what's a Draco?
No.
What's a Lich? What's a Draco Lich? This is just the next step up.
Yeah,
So I don't
Lich
think
being-
I don't think they've necessarily figured out that.
yeah, that's a bit of a relief.
And I hope not. But it does suggest a few other things that really do explain we can't just go directly to Black Crown from here. Just in case we need to keep an eye on Shanaira. And given that we've got a way to travel directly there, now that we've got a good idea of the fact that there is vessel, that there is plan, we need to go back to the Silver Vault. And unfortunately, I don't think what Clarity's unlocked would get us this information. But we need to figure out if there is an existing ritual, or if this is just something they're making up on the fly. Because let's face it, all rituals have to start somewhere. Goldfish Bowl.
Yep.
If it's not there, Because that's the other problem. How long do we have to look? Because you're right about one thing, Ava. Time is definitely running out. And especially when we take the white dragon out of the equation, things are probably going to start moving faster. So I guess that's where we have to sit down and actually ask. Do we have the time to try to actually figure out what the ritual is? Can't hear you.
We can,
Nix, can't hear you.
But
There we go.
Do we know how long it would take to get there after we take out the dragon?
We have the teleportation circle runes straight there, so Darvin or Ree could do it pretty much immediately. It's more we'd need to do something else to unlock the relevant bit of the library. Also, figure out which bit of the library it is, and then go through gods only know how much information to try to find what we're looking for. You only ever saw the antechamber of stars, but you've heard stories from the rest of us. I mean, Ava has studied, and she was pretty much entirely overwhelmed. And that was only a small slice. Darvin?
I'm thinking, but I mean, it might be coming from me, so it's probably not smart. But
knock
anyway.
it off.
I mean, look. My question is, okay, for them to do this ritual, they need stuff and they need a vessel. And my first thought was, can we get rid of the vessel?
Would that make it harder or would that make it easier? You still got a body.
can get rid of the body too.
How many of us have the ability to disintegrate a person?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I mean, if
Well, I mean,
not completely disintegrate, but burn to significant degree.
Do you know how long it takes to, and how much heat it takes to burn a body to ash?
Alone one
A
that's
lot.
part dragon.
Uh-huh.
That's fair, but
Also, if her death would open the path to let Tiamat in, you think a god could potentially... That's why we don't know.
Right.
Killing her was that much of a guarantee why she's still alive.
Because other factors might be first, and we're not even saying it definitely is. We're just saying it might.
Well, and I said get rid of the vessel. I didn't necessarily say kill the vessels.
And
Well, could we send it somewhere? I don't know.
Tiamat,
No, it's Tiamat.
and I'm sorry, but
I'm just grasping at straws.
I know, I understand that, but we have to logically work at these things just so that we can determine... I mean, it's not a bad idea, but I don't know that... The problem is, the banishing we have only works for a minute unless they're not from this plane. And she is from this plane. Mm-hmm. And even if she wasn't, wherever we could send her, we know from Barnabas, would have to touch on Avernus.
Oh, right.
So we'd just be making her somebody else's problem?
Yeah.
And then we wouldn't be able to stop anything, and then she could still probably plane shift right back to where we are,
Right.
fully imbued with godhood and really pissed off at the sudden change of address.
Right.
Maybe this is the point we should try to contact Arkin. If he's not entirely on board.
Oh, no, that's the problem is that's the part he'd be on board with.
Yeah. Actually.
His whole reason for being is to get Tiamat onto this plane, and if he can do it without the taint through a vessel that's not tainted, so much the better as far as he's concerned. Might be the only reason he's putting up with her shit.
Well, then, what if we made the vessel not, what's the word? I lost the word. I had it a second ago. Thank you.
What, you mean
How?
as in corrupted?
But
Or something.
Tiamat would probably still want to use that anyway. Arkin wouldn't. And besides, even if she didn't, then we'd have a black shit crazed,
Right.
powerful sorceress.
I mean, I wasn't necessarily thinking of corrupting with that, but I mean, just corrupting in general. But yeah, that is a bad idea.
But what other kind of corruption would make?
I don't know. I'm like I say, I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. You're grasping at straws, and I'm like, okay, great. Which methods? Because I only know one method of corrupting somebody.
Yeah, we're trying to find the other end of the straw. It's not that the straw itself is a bad idea, it's... Oh.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we could do would be to make her not want it. But I don't see there being any way to make her not want it. I don't think anybody who decides to burn down her birth mother's entire manor and slaughter the entire family is going to be motivated by anything but spite.
When... But... So she's willingly giving up herself.
I think remember this is all hypothetical, but the hypothetical would probably involve maybe she doesn't know, and hell, we don't know that there wouldn't still be some of her in there. It's like apparently there's this fallen solar got this sword, and if anybody picks it up, they're still them, but they change due to the power they take from this sword. It's kind of weird because most of the changes people theorize would happen in somebody who took hold of that sword sound an awful lot like me, and that's kind of creepy. But I guess that's what happens when you imbue solar into somebody.
I just had a somewhat concerning thought. I have no idea if I'm right at all, but...
Well, we're dealing with hypotheticals here. Go for it. Can we all please stop putting ourselves down and trying to undermine what we're saying before we've even said it? Confidence, people!
Well...
Can I ask a silly?
Okay, well, wait. Let's let the question happen first, just so that we're absolutely sure everybody's on the same page before. Okay, Barnabas, what's the question?
Well, with this whole vessel thing, doesn't that mean who they are gets erased by the god?
Not necessarily. We don't know. It's possible. That's what we were just saying. It's possible that there would still be a core of her in there. That's The personality wouldn't be completely rewritten by the god, but some attributes would change. Okay, sorry, Ava.
Or she might just be riding along. The
Okay, we don't need the over-explanations. Let's let Ava speak. Thank you.
Well, if we have a fairly good idea that Tiamat's thinking of maybe using Dragon Bitch as a vessel. What if she's also trying to do the double play her by just taking the power, not being, keeping her own mind? Maybe she knows more than we realize. I don't know.
Well, either way, however powerful the half handbag is, in a slap fight between her and a fucking god, I'm betting on the god. I don't think what Half Dragon wants is gonna be worth a damn if it doesn't match up to what Tiamat wants. I mean, it's possible. You're right. It's possible that she's trying to play Tiamat, but I think the only thing that can really play Tiamat is, as we've more or less hypothesized, other gods. Darvin has face.
Well, not to. Okay, the problem is someone is attempting to become an avatar of really nasty god. What if somebody else were to turn around and become an avatar of a more beneficent one? I was just like, I have absolutely no idea. Like, this is just that's completely like out there.
It's a thought. Everyone else responses?
I mean, like you said, we had no idea how we'd even do that, but I mean...
I have a feeling that it would involve a sacrifice of some kind. Every time we have done something that has had the gods reach out in any significant way from beyond the divine gate, it has involved a sacrifice. A pretty significant one, in all senses. And bringing me back when you shouldn't have been able to. And what repaid for the ability to rekindle the heart of Starcoast. And we'd be asking for not just an intervention. We'd be asking for a god to violate the terms they themselves made for keeping themselves behind the divine gate. And there's the other thing. We've met what happens if a god comes to this side. We've met Torm. He's powerful, but he's not a god in that sense.
Tiamat's not playing by the rules that the rest adhere to.
Well, no, they signed. That's the thing. The Divine Conclave made that rule. The only reason they're intervening as much as they are, I think, is because there's too much intervention from Tiamat and this black shit. They just intervened through us, so it doesn't completely violate the terms they set.
That it doesn't cause a all-out slap fight between every single god. The ones that agree with the idea of breaking the rule, the ones that don't agree with breaking the rule, the ones that weren't following the rules in the first place, like probably Tharizdun, Lolth, and Tiamat and company.
And I guess the question becomes, if we open up that particular can of worms, what happens to this entire world? We've already seen the results of a one-on-one god slap fight, if you like, in the form of the Shattered Lands. Yes. Imagine the entire world. It's nice to think that maybe we could imbue somebody with that kind of power and solve the problems, but if nothing else, the easy and non-personal dealing with things is what people like them do.
Yeah, no, that was just a postulating an absolute, like, nothing else to, literally laster than last resort.
That can't even be a last resort, because
No, it can't. No, I agree. I'm just saying.
I mean, either way, however many people, however many people in the world,
Yeah.
even those that would survive getting to the absolute last resort point, those few that did wouldn't survive what happened if we opened up that last resort.
No, they wouldn't. I mean,
When it comes to the gods, we have to trust in what they will allow. Besides, as far as that goes, even if we were going to be looking at this if we were to look at this as an actual possibility, we couldn't guarantee that the person would still exist. We don't know one way or the other, but the might of a god is entirely likely to burn out a mortal soul. And as we were discussing a little while ago, by this point she's dishing up porridge, sausages. There are 4 of us most likely to be that kind of vessel. In order of least to most likely, Bree, Hazel, you, because you've got the literal spark of divine in your soul, and me.
And the last time I channeled anything of that level, remember, I started cooking.
yeah.
I guess what we're all trying to say at the end of the day is, we're willing to fight. What are we willing to lose? If I thought it could work, and I'm gonna risk the glare, I know I'm gonna get about this here. But if I knew it was going to work, and the thing is, you're not even as likely as I am.
I know.
It'd be easier for them with me. I don't want it to come to that. I don't think it will come to that. But too many people have given up too much shit for me to be here to throw that around lightly. I might still be a little bit me when it was over. If Bahamut used you as a vessel, I don't think there'd be you left. We come back to the same question. Do we have the time to look up what that ritual might be? Or even ask a few pointed questions of Lyra, Estan, Twilly maybe. Shanaira if we have to.
I mean, I guess one question to help point one way or the other is, do we know what we would risk by not doing it or gain by doing it?
Well, we don't know. Well, what we would risk by going to the Silver Vault is for them to realize that Gray's Inn could still be a going concern by spring. and step up anything else they wanted to do. And with Giant Naran the Third on one side and that ancient green on the other, last thing we want is for them to speed up and graze in Goldendale, bits of Star Coast, right smack in the middle. If we go to the Silver Vault, though, our issue is doing a task to unlock the relevant bit, finding the relevant bit, and finding the information, which we all know is not easy.
I don't think
not
we
sure
have
how
time for
long that'll
that.
take.
The only other option I have is
I think if we did anything, I think we have time to at least ask the people like Lyra, etc., and so forth. But I think we have time for that. But to
Yeah.
go all the way out to the Silver Vault and do all that, I don't think we have the time.
I
really
wouldn't
don't.
say we do know.
no.
If I may, I think our best plan of action is to, as we're already doing, continue deal with the white as best we can, break the lower half of this dragon's jaw, and go up and see about the green and see if
No, you've got things a little confused. Sort of. Look, shows that goes to the table, points down. There is us. There is Varidel. Up there is Black Crown, Giant Naran the Third, and over there is the Elven Wild.
Okay, I got a little turned around, sorry.
We have 3 dragons here minimum, and we still don't know what's going on in Cragvir. Because as far as I think Froseth had told us that was where the Draco Lich that took the corpse of that red I killed.
Here, then Elvenwild, then Cragveer, then Black Crown?
If we've had this conversation.
No, we were going to do the white, then head back to
white.
Hearthstone, then
Yeah,
the black.
then the black, because the
And the
problem is we don't know where in the Elven Wild green is.
Got
Right.
it. Thank you.
And-
We don't know where in Craigveer the other one is.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you. That I needed that.
It was also partially because if Barnabas, we had this conversation where we were fairly sure that there must be a wellspring in the Elven Wild somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
we don't know how long it would take to deal with that. We need to do the things that we know approximately how long it's going to take us to do.
Got that established. Okay. Just was wondering if new information would
No.
alter that.
The only thing that's been altered is we were going to head from here straight up to Black Crown, but we can't do that.
No, and we don't necessarily have to now because, as we point flagged up, we've got a way there.
Yeah, the thing was that I think the main reason that I was thinking that we go straight to Black Crown from here was because at the speed we're traveling, the army could get into position.
Ah,
But if we have the teleportation circle, anyway, all I have to do is meet up with one of the scouts so I can message them.
mm-hmm.
And we can just, when I'm told they're engaged, then we can just
Yeah.
teleportation circle into that one that Clarity found. Where Barnabas, you look confused.
No, I got it.
Okay, good. It's just I'm still learning Minotaur face. I had the same thing with Froseth.
Yeah.
And by the time Faraday came along, I was used to it, so.
Kind of hard to tell when furrowed brows aren't furrowed.
I was told back back home that I had resting worried face or resting confused face anyway, so don't worry about it.
Fair enough. I have resting, I'm not sure face.
You
Seems to get me in trouble, that's all I know.
you have a resting what face? See?
Running glaze.
Kinda, yeah.
Oh, wait, resting donut face. There you go, glaze.
Did you finish all the donuts that were? Why am I even asking that question?
You know, I didn't know many terms.
They can't. That's why no noise was coming out.
Fair enough.
I was only asking. If I have a desire for anything sweet, I can just ask Hazel to break out the toaster and the Pop-Tarts.
I needed the sugar after seeing all this bullshit.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Understandable.
Well, at least it only takes sugar to help you. I apparently required 3 darts to the chest, but you know. Thanks again for coming through there, Hazel. I'm not going to
quietly
forget
produce the toaster. Okay, now how do I?
No, by this point you have used the toaster.
No, I know, but I'm doing this on purpose.
Ah.
How do I? Yep.
Yeah.
I'm just pulling random Pop-Tart into the thing.
Now we roll the hand of fate.
I was about to ask if you had any more that were more fruit-like, but oh well.
Yeah,
You'll
well,
just have to find out.
well, when Darvin bites into his, it tastes like that Rain Granary beer that Aaron kept ordering smells. It's actually ale flavored Pop-Tart. I am not having one of those.
Well, it's fermented.
Hey, Rylan, you have to try the other one.
Oh no.
They come in packs of 2.
When I said it, when they say it's, never mind. That's even a horrible. No, I'm not even.
Oh,
Gonna say
at which
that
point
one out
Alice rescues Rylan by taking the Pop-Tart and the rest of Darvin's, heads out to a window, shoves it open. Unfortunately, does let a bunch of cold air in, but she really doesn't care. leans out,
loud. Anyway.
leans out, is going, "Hey, legs!" And on the fly,
Yeah, that pun was so bad. Even I'm not going to say it out loud. Wow. Okay. It
No,
was ale
now-
flavored.
yeah, now I have to know the pun.
Yeah.
I believe the phrase is good for what ails you.
Oof.
Except it isn't, so that's irony
No.
pun, so that's worse.
Exactly.
That Pop-Tart is what ails you.
I'm producing another random one.
Oh boy.
Rylan, you want to fill this one? Because I've had my fill.
If the bar is ale popped,
Well,
it's just a funny image in my head.
There are beer flavored ones.
yes, that's the one that they just had, and the hand of fate gave a 2. So whoever winds up, I'm saying it's Ryland is going to cave or Barnabas is going to try it.
I'll do it. I'll bite this weird pastry thing.
It tastes kind of like the weird, excessively mint flavored yick that you used to have to take when you had colds as a kid.
God, I got cough syrup?
Effectively mentholyptus, like chewing gum.
Oh, you know, I wasn't expecting that the bar could go lower.
Okay, I have to know, what the hell do those taste like?
Mint and pain.
I got this thing in egg wrap. Try number 3.
Oh, God.
Absolutely not. Nope.
Oh, I might as well join the rest of you in the suffering and
Meantime, Alice has just opened up the window again, stuck out the pub.
Away from me.
Yeah, she takes Ryland's and the other one. And the third one tastes like, for Barnabas, tastes like cinnamon and brown sugar.
oh,
That doesn't sound so bad.
Well, you don't know. You just have Barnabas. Yum.
That was.
this one's definitely cinnamon and brown sugar. I'm good. And he sort of wanders away like, I'm not trying anymore.
Yeah, she probably takes the second Pop-Tart. Mine.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
There are
He
more.
won that round, and he's not going to try to keep it going.
I am going to tempt the fickle hand of fate.
Oh,
Oh, no.
Hit me,
Another
Hazel.
one.
And I don't mean that literally, for once.
Well, depending on what it is, you might want to get hit. It'll be the distraction.
Ah,
Yours tastes like chocolate and marshmallows.
it's good, but that flavor with that text. Yoink. Marshmallow as he wanders. It's weird, but I like it. That's kind of me all over, isn't it?
Hazel, can you read labels on these things?
Alrighty. I'm going to just produce a whole bunch and start looking through labels.
You've got apple pie. You have a second one of the one that Barnabas had, which is apparently cinnamon roll. You have s'more, which is the duplicate of the one Darvin had. You've got. You do have something called pink unicorn, and you have no idea what the fuck it's supposed to taste like.
Is this, by the way, is this all written in halfling by any chance?
One side
Or
is
is it
written
common?
one side is written in halfling, the other side is written in common.
Grin.
Oh no.
One
What
is
have you got going on?
one is chocolate banana. One is watermelon. One is
Very
bubble.
impressive.
One is bubble gum, and you have no idea how the fuck that's going on. Peanut butter and grape jelly,
What?
as well as strawberry,
The common and the halfling.
chocolate
that
chip,
one.
What
chocolate
kind is that?
chocolate chip cookie dough. Cotton candy. You have no idea how. Strawberry, blueberry, cherry, boysenberry, cranberry apple.
That one. I'm actually putting that one goes back into the bag.
Yes, and then you start getting into the particularly strange ones. There's apparently turkey and gravy. Like, you start getting into the savory ones at that point.
Like the first the turkey and gravy is like, Barnabas, read this one, Lob.
Kale and garlic.
What?
Ryland, catch.
What?
Um,
Read this one.
These are supposed to be like
common
dessert, right?
Acorn squash with butter.
Just gonna hand that one to Alice.
Parsnip.
Hitching that one at Darvin, just directed.
Alright, are these desserts or are these supposed to be savory? Kind of thing?
I
Couldn't make up its mind.
Block of savory ones in here.
Mix it up.
Savory, not with that pastry crust, no.
Pepperoni pizza?
No.
Just lobbing that one directly to Barnabas again.
Ham and pineapple.
This
Really
was
out of character. Oh my god, they're hot pockets. Oh my god, they're hot pockets.
There are actually Hot Pockets. This is a different brand, is the thing.
staring at this one in just abject, what the fuck? Getting up, walking over to Remy, very carefully handing it to Remy and backing up very quickly.
Oh no.
Oh, which one is this?
Ham and pineapple.
Oh, no, thank you. Just gonna push that across the table.
Yes, but at which point you do start getting an entirely different bunch of boxes, and these are the Hot Pockets. You can see they're a bit thicker and they have a different kind of crust.
I wonder if these two are, like, I don't know, some kind of competition in egg ref. First, though, this one's labeled unicorn, so I have to figure out what this is like.
Pink unicorn, specifically.
Pink unicorn.
Thinking about my monster menu book, I'm not sure I want to know.
I was gonna say this is from Eggraph. It is literally flip a coin. It'll be either the biggest sugar bomb with sparkles you've ever seen, or actual pink unicorn flavor. I don't know which one I would least want to have. Neither one sounds very good.
The toaster goes pink, and yeah, the heat seems to have made the icing pink and sparkly.
I'm immediately trying one.
I'm really hoping it's sugary. I'm really hoping it's sugary, because if it does that, and it tastes like an actual...
Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please, with disadvantage?
Oh boy.
Oh, good gods, what have I done?
You pulled a Hazel.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That.
I don't know, sorry. Enough of those.
Convince this thing to cooperate, 'cause I think it... Alright. And set in. Load you.
I hadn't thought you were logged in.
I guess I wasn't showing up on the system. This has happened with me and Nyx a bunch of times, where Nyx will be loaded into a thing, but it'll say Nyx isn't there. I guess I finally got hit with it. Alright, con save.
With disadvantage.
9!
Hazel's hair turns bright pink and fills with sparkles, and you are going to be vibrating with the pure sugar rush. This doesn't taste of anything but sweet. There is no identifiable flavor but sugar. And yeah, hair is bubblegum pink and sparkly.
Oh.
This is I want to go for a run now. I have energy.
I mean...
You feeling okay, Hazel?
Yeah, I with exaggerated slowness, I'm going to hand the last one, hand full on, like, vibrating, shaking, to Ava, walk to the door, open the door, and gone!
Okay.
Slam the house.
Can you make me a strength save?
Yep.
Let's go.
Well, you managed to plow through the snow into the rut that Legolas has made with his daily jog, but you've let in a terrible lot of snow, and it's going to take Alice and or Remy to or Barnabas, one of the strong ones, if not more, to shut the door against all the snow that has just been let into the kitchen via the back door. So yeah, Hazel's just you're gonna be doing that for the next 20 minutes.
I've left the pile, by the way, of various goodies.
I'm looking at the one she gave me.
Pink, sparkly, nightmare.
I'm setting
Bring it
the
on the
first
table,
one right
Jenny.
back on top.
Pushing it away.
I'm not feeding that. I'm not feeding that to Legs. Forget it.
No.
I mean, maybe it wouldn't be so bad because he's big, but this is not. I'm not from Egref. I'm not going to just experiment.
Yeah, I don't think pink is Legs' color.
Speaking of pink, should we prevent Hazel from being out there? Because isn't she going to, draw attention?
Honestly, I don't think we could stop her at this point. She'll run off the sugar.
Yeah, true.
And besides, she's currently in a pile she's currently in leans out. She's currently in a kind of a small canyon of snow that comes nearly to her shoulders. So, apart from the bright, sparkly pink, which
that was more.
nobody's gonna see much of anything through this blizzard anyway.
True.
And we're not directly on the main road. We had to do a turnoff, remember? So nobody's gonna see this. And if they don't notice the giant moose,
True.
sparkly pink with green overtones probably not going to.
Out of curiosity, DM, am I moving as fast as I would if I were hasted?
No.
Thank the God.
No.
I had the wherewithal to not turn on those things today.
Yeah, but I don't think you could have thought of it anyway, because it was just, I have to run now, I have to run now, I have to run now, I have to run now.
Yeah, there was enough sense in me to hand someone else the other one carefully before just becoming a rocket ship.
Yeah, and while Alice finds some way of disposing of that so that no living being consumes it, we're a little past break time in point of fact, so when we come back, we'll go back to the resurrections once one of our resurrectees, resurrectors, stops running off the sugar high to end all sugar highs. And we're back after the Pop-Tart incident. Well, there really is no other quick way to say that.
That sounds like an album title.
Yes, that's because you're used to Guns N' Roses. Shut up. Alice A is not going to get started on resurrecting people until Hazel is finished running laps. So for about 10 of the 20 minutes, she's just leaning on the windowsill watching for, occasional you're bright pink, you're bright pink, you're bright pink. Never quite laps Legolas. Legolas does lap her several times. So it's every so often she's bumped against a snowdrift by exercising moose. And yes, after the 20 minutes, I know Sugar Crash is not specifically a thing, but it feels like a thing when that much energy just suddenly shuts off. So in that sense alone, it is like being in the haste spell, because all of a sudden, all the energy went away.
And I'm just as efficiently as possible over the course of the petering out, just kind of.
Oh no, it's not. It's not petering out. It
just abruptly shuts off. I'm just gonna plow face first into a snowdrift. I'm not gonna follow the turn. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you get driven rather more into the snowdrift by the next time. Legolas passes by, and it's not quite to face level, but by the time you've stopped running, it is getting to about the level of your nose, so if you don't move soon, it's going to interfere with your breathing.
I'm gonna try and get up, scramble, and get back to the actual door.
Yeah, it's gonna take you a few minutes, but that's the thing, you weren't even wrapped up in your furs at the time, so you're very wet and very cold. And yeah, Alice's been watching, so just sort of opens up the door. Big grabs by the front of the shirt and yoink. Slam.
I could grab her furs and put them around her.
Now she's gonna have to change out of the clothes before she gets any benefit from that.
Yeah. I'm gonna press digitate myself a bunch of times.
Yeah, so your skin is that's the problem though. Your skin is still gonna be clammy. So you're just having to redo it and redo it and redo it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that a bunch of times. Until I get to a change out of.
Yeah, your bag's in the parlor, so.
Yep. I'm just gonna start pretending until I get there, get some stuff, shuffle somewhere, grab the thing Ava offered, and
Yeah, just
change
she's grabbed. Basically, you change in the parlor and then boomf into the furs when you get back to the kitchen. Because you're still faintly blue even when you're in the dry clothes.
That felt like being. Hey, that felt like the boots being active.
Well, you weren't as fast as the boots normally make you, so there's that.
So, yeah, it felt like it, but it wasn't.
You didn't see your hair. Silent image.
Agraffian stuff. I am not surprised.
Yeah, I soaked the Pop-Tart in water just to make sure it was not consumable by beings. As she holds up what looks like you know papier-mâché? The well, that, except bright pink and emitting sparkles.
Fizzing?
No, it's just sparkling. What did it taste like? Because I'm not...
There wasn't a taste. It was just a raw force of sweet.
That's fucking terrifying.
It's like someone constructed a hammer out of concept of sweetness and struck me square in the face.
Maybe we could not mention this to Clarity.
Yeah. She's gonna want to know what's in them.
She's going to want to see what happens when someone eats them.
I'm pretty sure I have more of them, but we can save that for a different day. When we're not under immediate crisis.
You see, I knew better than to even say my thought, which was, I wonder if body weight makes any kind of difference. So, yeah, maybe I could have fed it to Legs, or maybe I could have asked Farida if she wanted to try one. But, you know, we have slightly more important things to be doing than experimenting with the sugar mallet toaster pastries.
Yep.
It actually takes that raccoon-ish hat that you've got and poof over your eyes.
Hey! Reed! Say say no.
It pats on top of the... It actually drives it a little further down her face. Grab. Are you done? No, she pulled the hat off. Are you done?
No, the response was still that.
I'll take that as a yes, and that's it. Carefully. On ahead. Okay, so we did,
Should the rest of us leave again so that you...
well, at least stay out of immediate line of sight. Is probably the I mean, so far we've got the, it was the Remy, yours, gesturing at Ava's, and Clarity's. Not sure I should do mine.
Why not?
Just in case they know, just in case that one knows what they were supposed to be. And they all seem to know slightly different things. I'm not saying don't raise them, just maybe it shouldn't be me.
Oh.
I'll do Darvin's, and actually no, I'll do Hazel's. Hazel will do mine. And maybe Darvin's. If I just, if it was supposed to be somebody local, you know, to this country local, probably better to get them. They might have more insight into things. I don't know, but I'll make a start with yours. Rummages out Diamond. He does a gesturing and tap on the forehead with the giving some points of healing. Opens her eyes, which are the only bit that actually doesn't look that much like Hazel apart from the ears. They're a sort of a pale gray. Why does the celestial plane look like a kitchen? Because it's not the celestial plane. What's going on? Congratulations, it's your rebirthday. I know the feel, if that helps. None of the people here are the people who hurt you. Some of them may look a bit like them, though. So, try not to freak out. I think I've hit the point where I'm just numb to freak out now. Well, let's put that to the test. Can you sit up slowly? Sits up. Does flinch a little bit at the sight of Ava, but clearly, again, too numb to be unduly freaked out. Barnabas just gets curiosity. So that's 2 bullmen. Yeah, you didn't read last session. They did actually mention that, or I forgot to write it down. Darvin would have heard I think it was mostly Lisa who mentioned about. But you're the wrong color, so. I mean, unless you had a dye job for one or the other.
I can assure you I have not had any kind of dye job.
Except for that candy thing the once, but that was bright blue. It does get a little...
That was a side effect, not a dye job. It was not intending to be blue.
Actually, yes, it was. That was specifically what the candies were for.
Okay. I'm wrong.
But never black. It wouldn't go quite right with his horn jewelry. Okay, I'm not hugely educated, but isn't bringing somebody back from the dead real expensive? Well, yes, but if it helps, we've murdered a whole bunch of dragons and we plan to murder a whole bunch more. So we're good for it. Apparently this is starting to get through the numb now, because what you're getting is I must not be dead. This is too weird to be the afterlife. Yeah, to you it's weird. To us it's like
Tuesday.
just yeah. Out of character, I need to give you guys the days of the week, but what you get is what's a Tuesday. Oh, you have different. Of course, you have different nomenclatures. You don't have gods.
Yeah. Second working day of the week. If that makes any sense.
Triste.
All right.
It just waves at people like, hi. I'll say is sort of going, other people can weigh in here, you know.
I hate to bother you. Did you happen to get a name for the other bull man?
No.
Okay. I was just curious. That's all.
Yeah, we have, out of character, we have mentioned it elsewhere, but I'd have to actually look up in the notes, because it's not one of mine. Hang on.
No, out of character, Barnabas is being just as forgetful as Brian is.
Yes, but given your given intelligence score, the name is Toragar Steelfist.
Gotcha.
So Toragar, but this one didn't know. So I only heard two names. There was a red dragonborn man named Arkin, and a half dragon woman. I think he called her Ianthe. For the spelling, for those of you taking notes, that's Ianthe. And yes, Noms knows exactly where I got that from. I've been looking for a name for her ever since Marion joined us, and that's the one that worked. This is the lesbian necromancer murder mystery thing.
Later.
You were the one who flagged up the Gideon the Ninth that Noms had already heard of, and I'd started reading because he suggested
this
it.
Thing.
Yes, they.
I was assuming it was a different thing.
No, how the fuck many lesbian necromancer murder mysteries do you think exist?
At least like 5, probably. I don't know.
Actually published, though, and not just fan fiction.
I mean, the world could probably do with more.
Probably.
Okay, where the hell were we?
We were at Marion. Well, we were at Marion's expression as Ava actually learned. Yeah, actually learned the name.
Fucking lied about her name. Why am I surprised?
Alice is like, well, I mean, technically she was the princess of Blackcrown. She wasn't going to go by the name that she had there. Not in noble circles. I mean, neither of those names is particularly common. Even in the nobility, where they do tend to name people incredibly weird, says the woman named Alice, but never mind. Turns the girl turns and looks at Ava. You don't like her.
That's putting it mildly.
How do I ask for elaboration without coming across as very, very rude?
You have every right to ask whatever you would like.
Exactly. And long story short, she's my half sister, which is why she looks somewhat like me.
Not that much.
Well, she might have taken my appearance.
Not when I saw her. It doesn't look all that much like you at all.
Well, she's been known to use my appearance. Anyway. And she murdered my entire household. And I only survived because she left me for dead.
Well, I guess if you didn't actually die and get resurrected by the weirdest bunch of people on the planet, maybe you're a step better off than me? Maybe? I don't know. Where is this? Because obviously it's not the Celestial Plane.
Southern Plantation.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I know the place. Never been there, but I know the place. It's not been a great couple of months. Oh, wait. No, I do remember you. Some of you, anyway. I saw you at the tavern at Gray's Inn. You probably didn't notice me because you were talking to political types and things, but I was one of the serving staff.
Oh.
So when the dragon came, I was one of like 3 people who got out and trying to find someplace else to go when you don't necessarily want to be on the roads, and the weather's got kind of nasty. Wasn't all that great, and stopped at the crossroads. Oh, you guys wouldn't know the crossroads. It's a little ways south of here, and it literally is just where the road to... Basically, there's a road from Gray's Inn proper to Starcoast, and there's another one from the same basic place to sort of the Goldendale-ish kind of area. And it's not a real crossroads because it's not 2 roads necessarily converging, but more of a fork, but we all call it the crossroads because it's there's a little tavern. People tend to take the long way around in order to avoid the blind harpy. I worked at the blind harpy for a little while, but the pay was garbage, the clientele was worse, and I could not keep serving people that beer anymore. Anyway, so I got some work at the Crossroads Inn, and that lasted for a few days, and then people turned up. I didn't get a very good look at them, but they were obviously magical something. And they really liked their blood. They were kind of sifting through people. Like, measuring, looking at hair color, and there was me and one other girl. Was, brunettes my height aren't exactly uncommon. And the innkeeper, the big burly Trenton. I don't know if we've seen him. At a character that would probably be the Barnabas.
Mm-hmm.
And we got hauled out into... It wasn't here, wherever it wasn't here. I think somebody had magic of the you're here and then you're here variety. And got dragged into what I guess was a dungeon. We were still on the same floors wherever we popped in from. It was underground. And they didn't think Marissa would do. So they bled her a lot. They thought Trenton would be just fine with a few adjustments. And then they fastened these bits of metal into my ears. They'd removed the elf points by this point. That hurt, and so did just about everything else, and the woman with the scales on her face, the one you say is your sister, the Iante. She stuck me with these needles, and it hurt a lot, and I think eventually I just hurt too much to still be able to be. I think. Sorry, I'm obviously upsetting everybody.
No, it's not you.
You don't have anything to
You have
apologize
nothing to
for.
apologize for.
You brought me back from the dead. I don't like upsetting people.
We're upset at what they
What was
did.
done to you.
I guess since you brought me back from the dead, I couldn't really have kept my mouth shut because you were upset enough at that to spend that amount of money to resurrect a stranger. Okay. Sorry, I don't think I'm in a very good head space right now.
That's alright.
Okay.
You take your time. It's a lot to process.
So, what happens now? Because I think up until like 2 minutes ago, I didn't really have to worry about that, and now I kind of do again. I don't think I will be working at the Crossroads Inn anymore. I don't think it's still there.
Don't know, but probably not.
We can send you to Goldendale and you'll have somewhere safe to get your bearings back. Some people who can help you out.
All I'll say is just, well, if the winter is not too bad in Goldendale, which I don't think it would be yet, I'm sure Benson is hard at work rebuilding the Golden Bow. Probably could use a hand with that. What do you think? And Hazel, you know better than any of us.
Say Benson would welcome the help.
I've never built an inn before, but I guess I could figure it out. And if not, I'm sure somebody could find me a way to be useful.
True.
And I'll say is just look at it this way. Goldendale's lost some people. But structurally, it's in better shape just because Goldendale as a province is spread out, but it's not as spread out as Gray's Inn is. It's got its little townships, farming hubs, and Goldendale's as much capital as it has, but it's still not quite as we have this city, and that's all we have except for plantations. So, given the number of people they've lost in their primary, I don't know, barony hub, somebody will find something to be of help with. If in construction is not something you feel able to do, I'm sure the sweet shop could use some help.
Confirm, yes.
Okay.
Most of the town happy to take any help they can get.
Okay. Do I have to do anything to get me there? Because I don't know how this works.
We'll handle that. You just have to wait a bit and we'll essentially open a door for you.
Okay. This seems to be where that is happening. Should I sit someplace else? I'll say it's just I'll take you into the parlor, okay?
I was gonna say we could put her in the parlor for now.
Well, that's where the other ones settles her in with the. She had made some extra breakfast because she knew there were going to be more people who probably needed to put food in them. And then comes back. Well, this is getting more and more fun.
Let's do that again.
Oh, it's
Intensive exercise sort of thing, yes.
Yeah. Thing is that as obviously upsetting as this stuff is, I think us glaring silently is probably not. We really need to start talking to these people. Yeah, even if it's actual questions and then reassurance, because right now we're just standing over them like
Ominous judgment.
Something like that,
It is.
yeah. It's... We kind of need to remind them that we're people and we do actually care about them as people. We're just lucky that one knew that if we didn't care as people, we would not have done what we did.
Good point.
Right, I will bring in the next one. Do you want the me or the Darwin?
Let's start with the.
Okay. Brings her in. Lays her out on the table. Go forth.
1, 2, 3. Get situated. Start casting.
And that's cast, and I'll say gives another couple of hit points just to get things a little more stable, and you just get...
Hello.
Hi?
Back.
Welcome back where? I've never been in this room in my life.
This is the Sullivan Plantation.
The what?
Out in Gray's Inn.
Oh. Wait a minute. I think I know you. You used
Who is she
to...
pointing at?
You. You used to make the Goldendale to Mount Palor trip like twice a year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know the Smiling Sun Tavern you used to stop at?
How well would I, DM?
You looked forward to it, mostly because they did a particularly nice roast chicken.
Very good roast chicken, I remember.
That's Mom's recipe. Mom runs the place. Hopefully still runs the place.
Agreed. Very much agreed.
Uh,
Gonna start off. You know that none of the folks here mean you any harm at all, but some of them might look like the ones who did happen to you in the first place. Wanted to make sure you were forewarned and knew that no one here is going to hurt.
okay, good. It props up on elbows.
Slowly, getting back is draining on both ends.
It's just looking around. No, nobody here looks exactly like anybody who did the hurting. I mean, there's a bullman, but that's not the same bullman.
Right?
I noticed these things.
That
Its horns were bigger than yours. I mostly know this because there was one in my abdomen.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Why? You didn't do it.
Yeah, I know, but I feel the need to apologize anyway for reasons I don't quite understand.
He is not representative of your species. You're not representative of your species. You are a unique individual.
That's actually more true than you know.
So you can say you're sorry in a regretful way, but not in an apologetic way.
Got it. I'm Barnabas.
Elsie.
Reaches out the shit.
Elsie.
Nice to meet you,
Hi.
Elsie.
Main reason I notice is because I tended to handle the bigger meat ends that we served. So I was actually on the road to one of the not very far away grazing plantations, but nearby ish grazing plantations. Still a bit far for us, but still, I was going for sheep.
Ah, gotcha.
And then there was big black bull man.
If it's not too much to ask, did you see anything else besides the...
No, I just heard what I sounded a bit growly, but mostly just went you'll do and charged, and I didn't get out of the way fast enough because I was basically stuck on what the fuck.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I'm going to kill that man. Slowly, if I can.
More for my cousins than for me, but okay. I wasn't traveling entirely alone. I was with my cousins.
This Barnabas sort of looks like this. Anyone else have any idea what cousins? Have we had any cousins so far? Anyone?
Well, all I can tell you is that most of any of the nasty that happened in Goldendale happened in the town. And the people we are going to send you to in Goldendale, in point of fact, will probably be able to get you back to the Smiling Sun. Good, I need to check in with Mom. And Auntie Carol. I don't think she's going to like the news about her kids very much, but... Unfortunately, I don't think they're here. Last I saw them before the charging, they were kind of bits. He has axes. Kind of big ones, because you're kind of big.
Good to know. Thank you for the information, at least.
It wasn't much.
Still. Any amount is worth it. And in general, you're just worth it.
Thanks. I'll say it's just Hazel's going to help get you into a standing position, and I'm going to get you some porridge and sausage, and then you're going to sit down with. We did not get her name, but
No, we did not.
I will get it when we. She was pretty much in a state of shock. It's kind of tricky to ask, but I don't know. We have a little support group. I can join in on it later because out of everybody in this room, I'm the only one who's been dead longer than like a minute.
Yep.
Wow, you guys are weird. Is Elsie's response to the whole thing. Yeah. But the best heroes usually are. This is just... And with that, she leads Elsie into the next room. Comes back. The barmaid's name is Jill.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Well, it's better than hey you.
Mm-hmm.
I think she probably deserves a lot better than hey you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Agreed.
All right, I'm gonna get brings in the Darwin effigy.
And
Hold up a hand for a moment. After set him down and pulls back the collar of the shirt a little bit on the same place where Darwin has that Bahamut granted sleeve. There's a pattern carved into that. It doesn't look quite like Darwin's. There's a similar scale feel to it, but branching out across the shoulder blade and the collarbone are 5 separate draconic looking heads. Oh, Bahamut's gonna be pissed. That's some blasphemy looking shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Darwin looks very closely at it for some few minutes. Just
Do you want to
sort of both examining it, but also kind of waiting to hear. Just
Yeah, you're not getting anything at the moment. You wonder about the rage, but that's all you.
okay.
Yep.
Yeah, just steps back.
Darwin, do you want to be in the room when we find out how the fuck that happened?
Yes and no. At the same time, I don't know what their reaction will be to, well, me.
Well, none of them recognized the people they were refugees of, so.
Okay. Okay. You're right. Just, it's like looking in a mirror, but not, you know? Well, yeah, you know.
I think
Sorry.
most of us, I think all of us know.
Sorry.
Hazel, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll be here.
Right. Gods. You go.
You do the thing, and when Alice dumps the rest of her healing pool in, she focuses on that to try to. And although it clearly takes some effort, and she's a little when that's done, she manages to heal it without a scar. That was a nat 20 on the Hand of Fate, so. At which point he's looking at Hazel and the ceiling like,
Hi. Come back.
howdy? The fuck?
Here in the Sullivan plantation. Gray's Inn.
Don't reckon the Sullivans are here, 'cause if they were, they'd be hating on you. Or Samuel would, anyhow.
I'll say this much. Definitely are not. And, further, no one here, despite any appearances that might be similar to those that hurt you, means you any harm. No one here is going to try anything.
Turns his head in a Barnabas-ward direction. Nah. Reckon not. He ain't moving to do it anyhow. Am I allowed to get up now?
Yeah, you are. Just take it easy. It's gonna take more than you're probably expecting.
He does sit up, but the first thing he does is Coming back, do that?
Sort of. You can actually thank Alistair for that. Kidding.
Just waves for the... Yeah, I didn't think you wanted to wear that for the rest of your life. Reckon not. But you knew that it was there. How much of that were you alive for? All of it? The Dragonborn what ordered it done said as how wasn't sure he liked it, but that his god looked upon it with favor, and his god's rival would not, so... I think he was trying to rationalize it away as a kind of prayer.
Rationalize it away.
Like I said, I don't think he liked it.
Huh.
He
The one actually doing the cutting was kind of like him, except blue and not quite, and had wings.
That one we're also familiar with.
And the one looked like a black, angry, stupid version of you was holding me down. I reckon he's probably the one who did for me, though, because last thing I felt was his hand coming there. Ain't sure whether... I don't reckon he strangled me. I reckon he broke my neck on accident.
Anything else you're comfortable with telling us about? Or heard or anything?
If I remember anything, I'd tell you, but apart from that, I don't so much.
That's alright.
And I ain't from far from here.
What's your name?
Alec.
Well,
Why?
Work on the Sullivan base or elsewhere?
No. Plantation or two up, but they do the fancy horses, and we just do cows.
out of character, I was trying to remember if I knew the name from anything.
No, it's just
I
a
don't
name.
think so. Yeah.
Nope. Besides, Alec is a very common name anyhow.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, just didn't want to be all, hey you.
No, just you look kind of disappointed when you didn't seem to recognize it.
Yeah, no, I just, I thought maybe I might, but I didn't.
Nah, I ain't been further than the capital in all my life, and you sound like sometimes you sound like a Star Coast boy, sometimes you sound a little bit Cedar Grove, but not enough to live there.
Sorry.
I'd call that an accurate statement.
And
He's
you're
also-
pure Goldendale.
Yep.
And he ain't from points of Barnabas, and he ain't from anywhere on this continent.
Yep.
That is correct.
You're incredibly perceptive.
I used to hang around the inn at Gray's Inn. The only time you ever actually heard anyone from here actually heard people from other places, and you are Cedar Grove, and you are nobility.
Damn.
You're good.
Very well versed in reading accents and speech patterns.
Well, I was kind of hoping to get out of the usual cattle mind and run, and actually get to a more traveler news bringer kind of role.
Well,
Admirable.
Elvenwild.
Well, we are.
Mine still
400%.
stands.
Yeah, we are going to be getting you to Goldendale shortly. It'll be safe there, and there are people there that can help you figure out what's next,
Plus, well,
or get you to where you need to go next.
And looks at Hazel again. You a Hawthorne?
very yes.
I get to find out if the rumors are true.
Wait, what rumors?
About the halfling couple.
What are... Sorry, this just... Now you have me curious. What are the rumors?
They used to be mercenaries. Real famous mercenaries. Most people don't reckon it because, well, they're mom women, most folk reckon, but I do not underestimate mom women.
Have you ever heard of the name Quick Flight?
Yeah, there's that song.
Well, both of them were from that.
Oh, so Rand wasn't. All right, that makes some sense.
Yeah. So when you said not to underestimate him, yeah, you're.
Definitely don't.
You might want
Whatever you do, do not. Hold on to that life lesson. It will serve you in good stead.
Well, mostly I figure that from my own mom, who I really ought to try and see if she's all right. I don't reckon she is. And stories I used to hear about Francine over in Star Coast.
Francine...
Francine's doing all right for herself.
I'd say she's basically running the place.
The expression on his face makes me a little bit curious about that. But right now I'm a little bit too wrecked to really take it all in. So I think I'll go with one solved mystery at a time. I'll say it's just, I'm going to put you together food. You will sit and you will take a breather. And then we will send you to the place where you can actually find out how much of the rumors were true.
Yep.
You know, porridge, sausages. Basically has cleared out both, but this has now been some time taken. And by the time she comes back, it's like, honestly, by the time they're done with that, they're probably going to want lunch. And I kind of want lunch.
That'll be a good sign if they have an appetite like that.
Well, I remember from my own experience with it, they have not eaten anything in quite some time. I mean, they haven't exactly been burning any energy, but anyway, point is that also that if we actually put together a lunch, we can feed Clarity and Farida and oblige them to take a break.
Because otherwise, I don't think they're going to be able to stop.
Nope.
No, the two of them, they won't tend to, but then again, they've only got a limited amount they can actually do, given how many of the bookshelves are actively destroyed in there.
They are liable to start focusing on restoring what's there.
If that's possible, I think it would take more than we've got.
Mending certainly wouldn't do it. but well, it wouldn't do enough. Rather, it could put the paper back, but not the ink. And
You're overthinking this.
they'd be going further than that.
I think you underestimate the treasure trove they might find in a chest of drawers and a desk. Especially when they have to be really careful about any documents in it so that they're...
Oh, I see where you're going. Yep.
This is like ice archaeology. And because you need to get your head off this, you are going to help me cook and give Ava a break.
That I am.
You can help with dinner, Ava. She just needs unfocusing. And also, we're like more than 5 minutes past. So when we come back in 2 weeks' time, now that we've sufficiently stalled, we can deal with what Farida and Clarity found and do our last resurrection and get underway.
All right.